take a particular example. I claimed that taking part in high school sports itself raises your lifetime income. That was the claim I made. And the question you might ask, a perfectly reasonable version of your question, is how do you know that's causing it? Maybe some people are just, have a higher energy level and they take part in sports and they also do well also do well in their job. So, how are you sure that it was playing football that caused you someone to do well as opposed to just having a high energy level or something else, some other unstated cause? And that's a case in which we actually do have pretty strong evidence coming from Title 8. Is it Title 8? Title 9, sorry. Wrong number, but right. So people have looked at the trends in lifetime performance, not just school grades, but lifetime income performance of women who, because of their birth date, just didn't get into high school sports, and those who were just a few years later but did get into high school sports because they were then in the period in which, not just high school, but high school and college, and men who, because there was no change in the men's access to college sports, there should have been no concept. What I'm trying to say is we could compare women before and after that intervention, namely giving women access to college, to sports. And we could compare them to a control group who didn't have the intervention because they had access all along, nearly guys. And what the results showed is women who were of a school age after Title IX came into effect, had higher lifetime incomes than women who were only just a year or two younger than them, but didn't have access to sports. And I'm not going to do all the math here, but when you work through that, it's very hard to come up with an example of that in which it's some other thing like energy level, because you have to assume that somehow, or some other variable, right? Because you have to assume that somehow miraculously, on that very same day that Title IX came into effect, God said all women born after this date will have higher energy levels or something, right? So I'm trying to respond seriously to your question. That's a case in which it's pretty clear that the outcome, namely higher lifetime income, was actually caused by access to high school sports. Now there are a lot of domains here in which it's much harder to pull apart. That's the word endogeneity is just highfalutin language for saying that you pull apart what's causing what. And sometimes you can, and sometimes it wasn't dissing you. I mean, I'm just trying to explain to people who hadn't had statistics, but that meant what endogeneity meant. And there are parts of this area where it's pretty hard. Actually, I just realized that I've forgotten a really important thing. Let me introduce this slide, then I'll finish my sentence, my response to you. If you want to know what to do in early childhood education, and another kid didn't, you could see, and like an experiment, you could see that the kids who got their early childhood education did actually better. So your point about endogeneity, that is, how do you know something's a cause and not just a correlate, is a really important one when you turn to fixing it. And the screen that we tried to lay over here was things that we're pretty sure actually causes and not just correlates. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the good question.